Carnival of Souls is the first of its kind, really. It was the launch pad for a mind-bending subgenre full of heavy-hitting titles from creative auteurs. A few of those titles including Adrian Lyne's Jacob's Ladder and Richard Kelly's Donnie Darko. They are called Death Dream, aka Dead All Along films, and the birth of every twisted shock and shocking twist started right here in an actual abandoned carnival/resort in Salt Lake City, Utah. Souls was an independent, low-budget genre picture shot by educational filmmakers with a desire to strike gold in the horror world. Unfortunately, the film would fail to have the lasting power that a fellow low-budget black-and-white feature from the 1960s had, one directed by George A. Romero, which featured a slew of pale, slow-stepping monsters from beyond the grave. I'm speaking, of course, of Night of the Living Dead. And that film went on to launch an even bigger subgenre in horror called the zombie genre. All films made and released after Carnival of Souls owe much-deserved props to the film. This especially goes to the otherworldly work of David Lynch, who is already on the record stating Souls as a great influence on his career. From the oddly zoned-out yet blaringly eccentric acting of Eraserhead to Robert Blake's turn as the Mystery Man in the supernatural noir Lost Highway. In that film, the Mystery Man lurks around the corner of every scene awaiting his emergence from the shadows, much like director Herc Harvey's The Man does in Carnival of Souls. The influence of Carnival of Souls on David Lynch's career continues with his very own contribution to Death Dream cinema, the Citizen Kane of the Death Dream, you might say, the accidentally brilliant Mulholland Drive. I say accidentally on account of the film's origins as a failed TV pilot that was then pieced together in the editing room with love, care, and a stack full of additional/reshot footage. Carnival of Souls is a bit of a forgotten film. Its descendants have fully hogged the spotlight, as well as every bit of credit that the veteran film deserves. Hit films like The Sixth Sense live in the minds of the masses and are still discussed today, yet Souls was left behind to wander the thinly veiled strip of existence between the realms of the living and the dead. In a perpetual death dream of its very own, you might say. The film's two main leads are very effective. Candice Hilgos's wide-eyed terror and bewilderment is a major ingredient. She had studied under Lee Strasberg, the father of method acting. Her ability to actualize/empathize with her character only adds to the film's effectiveness. Sidney Berger plays the quintessential creepazoid, a true HR nightmare with squirmy, weirdo eyes and a weaselly voice to match. His scenes with Hilgos are the strongest in the film. You feel sorry for her when she screams, "I don't want to be alone," begging for Berger's character to come back. A snake of a man that makes her skin crawl. Carnival of Souls is full of haunting imagery. Taunting spirits in black garbs and pale skin running at the camera, chasing our protagonist down, emerging from dark waters and the most unlikely of places. Like one scene, for instance, where an office chair slowly swivels around to reveal the lead ghostly antagonist in the place where Hilgos's trusted therapist once sat. This, of course, sends her into a frantic fit of blood-curdling shrieks. There are also scenes where she seems to turn invisible, trying like hell to get the attention of various store clerks and passers-by on the street, but to no avail. It seems like she's slowly but surely losing her grip on the physical plane, slipping out of this false reality and backwards to the tragic truth of a cruel fate. And it takes the film's entire running time for her to fully fade away. Carnival of Souls is an important film in the history of cinema. If you haven't seen it, and you want to know where some of your favorite films come from, checking it out would only be in your best interest.